Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us through, we just started, even though, in case you've missed out, we just talked about Salah and, the celebration and how hard it has been for people to, just even find something to celebrate with. But let's take a look at what our national dailies are saying, which is always, what we start with. And we're going to start with the Weekend Trust this morning. And the major story there says 2027 questions over Shetima's fate. Well, you can go through page 4, but I'm going to, do that for you much later. Go through page 4 if you have a copy of it. If not, I'm going to just take you through some of the things why, his fate is being questioned here. And then inside lives of senior citizens, pay us our pension. Well, it's a sad sketch there to see, because I saw recently about billions of naira across states, Fintri of Adamawa State commissioning about more than 5 billion or even more, if I'm not mistaken, just to make sure that they pay the pension arrears of our retirees and what have you. And then I've seen also the government generally on the federal level also coming out to say that they are going to pay pension. I mean, if you remember 2 weeks back, I think we read it in one of the front pages where they said about how many billions is set aside just to make sure that they pay retirees their pension. What do you think about this? Because this is something that has been
if that is happening,
retired senior citizens of Nigeria. I don't think it's only Nigeria, but this Nigeria's issue is actually becoming more alarming because every time we tend to see people going after what they have earned, for their service to Nigeria, for working for themselves, for their lives, just to make sure that they have, ease when they are old and they have retired. But then they keep going back to just make sure they access their pensions, their own money, and it's hard. Some even die in this process.
This is dicey, and let me just say it's a confusing situation. We always see these governors, most especially governors, come out and say, they have paid the pending pensions and gratuities and stuff, but we still keep seeing civil servants, retired civil servants, coming out to cry that they haven't paid them. So I don't even understand what is really going on. Is it that they have paid or not?
If they have paid, they won't be asking for them to pay their citizens.
Then why are they claiming they have paid?
The question is, what can be done at this point? Because you can't even access your pension until if you stop working now. I think 4 months after you stopped working, you can access. I think either 10 or 25% of your salary with the pension board, but after that, you'll not be able to access anything from there again till when you reach 50. So even that too, a while back, I think sometime last year, we talked about how the age should be limited. It shouldn't be up to that 50 and what have you, because who is even setting this age limit for people to even access their money in the first place? People should be able to access their money at any given time.
It's their money, I mean.
Yeah, so even if it's going to be kept, and sometimes they're even being duped of their money because they will die in the process of trying to get their pensions. Some of them die, their children,
their family
wives,
cannot even access it.
They can't even still access it because, and then gradually the money will just disappear. So it's really sad to see. We need the government to take a look at this and make sure that these people receive their pensions. Please do something about it. I mean, these people are too old to be going through all this. What if they don't even have the strength? Their family, assuming these old people are the only sole providers of their family, and probably their children cannot even have good jobs to even cater for the family. Please do something about it. Go through page 8 for more details. And then Benue under siege. This is coming from Governor Alia. Definitely a lot has been happening. I just saw videos, pastor calling out for a state of emergency, for Benue, just like it was done for Rivers because of the crisis. But state of emergency is not something that should be just, the president will just sit down and just announce state of emergency. But at the same time, we know that people are dying, and it's something that should be, security agencies keep saying, oh, we have killed so number of terrorists. I keep saying that, but yet we still see people being attacked.
Yeah, we don't
so
see
it's like the more they are neutralizing some are coming up again. So you'll be wondering, where are they even getting them? Where are these people coming from? Someone is recruiting them. So what is being done about this? Well, still, kudos to the security agencies. At the same time, definitely we'll say the advantage and disadvantage of everything. We've seen how they've captured bandits or kidnappers. Was it yesterday or so? They've even killed some of them. Well, kudos to them, but still, we need more to be done. The vigilantes, the police, the soldiers, every security agency on ground should actually pay attention to what is happening in states like Benue, Jos, Borno, and also Edo and the rest, So definitely a lot needs to be done. Go through page 25 for more details on that. Emir Sanusi Bayero holds parallel Eid prayers in Kano. I clearly remember, if you remember last week, we read out where the police came out to say that there's no chance for them to, celebrate or do anything like Durbar. But then we still saw, people coming out on their horses, sort of. They kind of went against the ban, and it's okay for the prayer to hold, but celebration, I mean, you can't. People don't just listen. Sometimes it's for your own good, for your, for lives to be saved. So definitely. But then go through page 30 for more details, and then we're seeing ways at 1936 to 2005. Yes, this is one person, that is invaluable, that can't be replaced at this point. And our heart goes out to his family, and we appreciate his service for our nation. I'm sure he's one of, and even the CGN also, there are two people, just a day interval, I think. One died today, the next day Ways also died. Our heart goes out to the families. We just talked about how it's sad for people to celebrate Salah without their loved ones, so it's so sad to see that these two prominent people just die. Go through page 13 for more details on that. And then above the belt you can see Makwa tragedy, survivors recount horror experience. I mean, we just talked about it when we started up. Definitely this is more expected because they are still grieving the losses of their loved ones. And it's going to be difficult for them to, carry on this Salah and every other Salah that will come, because they will keep remembering what happened in Makwa. Nobody will forget the incident in Makwa. It's just huge. The whole world is actually, mourning and is with Makwa at this point. Go through page 28 for more details. And defects to APC. One commissioner resigns. Yes, I saw this yesterday. A commissioner said he just can't leave PDP to APC, and so for that he resigned, because you remember Governor Eno said he can't defect, and his cabinet people that he has appointed, his appointees,
must defect with him.
Must defect with him, because you can't enjoy the benefits that you're getting
if you're
under
not
him.
From the same party.
Definitely. So you have to be under the same party with him. But so if you're not going to be, so just make sure you're ready to resign. And already
this
someone
is so
making,
unfortunate, honestly.
I just feel, I don't feel it's okay for someone to dictate what you should do, what party you should be in.
Exactly.
And just like I don't believe in picking a predecessor for you when you're leaving a particular seat. You say, oh, this is the person I want to take over. It shouldn't be you. It's not, the mandate is not for you to choose who is going to inherit your seat. So it's the masses, it's the people of that state that will decide who they want their governor to be, not you.
Unfortunately.
And if you look at the situation with BK and Fubara, it's similar thing that is happening, godfatherism.
This has become, it's fast becoming a norm, godfatherism, choosing somebody to succeed you before you leave the office. And sadly, our people see it as a very normal thing right now. In fact, some of the people, the masses, try to ask you who you're going to pick to be your successor, and I think that's not cool. It's not nice
at all. Yeah. Because I just feel it violates people's right to try to impose someone on them, to say this is the person.
This is the person I want you to vote for.
That shouldn't be an issue that should be even discussed. Allow people to choose who they want to govern their states, who they want to be in the Senate, who they want to represent them at the House of Representatives, or even in the state assembly. So it's not for anyone to choose who. Let the people choose who they feel can do the job for them, can deliver on their mandates and what they want for their state and what have you. So, but then go through page 15 for more details, because there's a lot, like I said. And then also, if you remember the incident with Alo Dam in Borno, last year. Already it's 8 months, and also that too, a lot of people died. Graves were digged out because of the the water that came from the Alo Dam, and still 8 months later, reconstruction work is yet to begin.
Why is that?
And you'll be wondering, because I know Babagana Zulum, the governor of Borno State, to be someone that is on, handy.
Very up and doing.
Yes, handy at any given time. Things like this, I feel at this, by now, Alo Dam shouldn't even be an issue that we should be even discussing, because it's already 8 months. 8 months is long enough for them to rebuild, and fix whatever disaster that happened around that place. But look at the kind of heavy rain that keeps falling every day. Imagine Fatima, the Alo Dam still not being fixed.
It's not about, it shouldn't be about the money, because we have seen it, like we saw it, many organizations, many Borno, states like give them money. They really,
but Borno is it's been going through a lot. Of course, aside from the flood.
But talking about the donations are much.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is Borno is huge. It's not just a place. I feel Bauchi is even a more smaller state than Borno.
Borno is a very big state.
It's very big. So whatever donations will not go around. But at the same time, I know that the government are helping NGOs.
They should have taken maybe some of the money to fix the Alo Dam, so that, because this is a very dangerous one here, we have to fix it so that it doesn't happen again.
Yes, because, look at what is happening in Nigeria. A lot of people were thinking is Kainji Dam or, the Jaba Dam, but then at the same time they said it's safe. But we are seeing NIMET saying that they are going to be the most heat during this, rainy season. If you remember, the rain didn't even start normally, like we normally see it. Now it's back to back.
The heat was crazy.
And the rain is now back to back.
The rains now will be very heavier than
it's always coming
last
heavy.
year.
Once the rain starts, just know that it may be heavy. It's not going to just drizzle and just go. But then please, Governor Babagana Zulum,
for the people living in that area. Honestly.
Governor Babagana Zulum, please, I know you to be handy. I know you to be always, up and doing. Like Mariam said, I wasn't expecting this to be an issue that we should be discussing at this point. This is Salah period. We expect people to be happy to, forget this incident. But the fact that it's not fixed, people will not forget what has happened. People will not forget the dead bodies of their loved ones that was digged out by the flood that came from this Alo Dam. So please make sure, if there's anything, if it is help, ask from the federal government. If it is help from foreign organizations, please do that and make sure that this is fixed, because the lives of your people matters at this point. Well, you can go through page 24 for more details. And then initially I told you that I was going to take a look at the story, the questions over Shetima's fate, and then the lack of mention of the vice president's name during the endorsement has also triggered concerns in the Northeast, Shetima's home zone, with some stakeholders calling for a meeting to deliberate on the situation and other issues affecting the health of the party in the region. Well, this is one of the reasons why the question of his fate right now for 2027. I'm just reading out for you to understand, so that you'll see why. And I saw, someone coming out to say, even though they are just looking for, something to trigger, they said, Tinubu seems to be attending more political events than Shetima at this point. But I just felt like it was funny, but at the same time, they are saying the truth, because you hardly see Shetima anywhere. He's not always on the screens or events like that, like you see other people. So definitely there's a reason why.
We've seen the past vice presidents, how the activities they
usually do vice presidents are. If you look at when Joe Biden was president and Kamala Harris, you hardly see Kamala Harris on during much. Well, you always see Joe Biden. I'm just giving you an instance. So why is it always like that? A lot of times, the vice president, except you do something, or probably because your office, for every office that people actually assume there is a responsibility. The vice president has his, probably he's doing his, but the media is not following him like we are seeing the president and other people. Well, this is just
the current vice president doesn't do much, I think, because you could imagine how his name is not always mentioned. You forget you have a vice president in Nigeria, unlike Oshibanjo, Atiku, and others.
I will forget, because even people coming out to still talk about the Muslim ticket, and they are saying it actually made me to cringe.
so,
Like, why would people be saying, oh, it's Muslim ticket, we thought the Muslims would be enjoying? It's not about Muslims. These are people that are ruling your country. It's not about whether it's Muslim or Christian. At the end of the day, how many Muslim Christian tickets have we seen? How many, even though I don't know if they were Christian tickets, but then, sometimes it's not about religion. I think politics and religion shouldn't even be coming together at this point. Politics is politics, religion is religion. But saying, oh, it's Muslim tickets, we're expecting Muslims to enjoy, I just feel is a trigger.
Thinking about that now, maybe that's why people are speculating that Shetitima will not be part of the 2027. Maybe they're trying to bring in.
They can't say will not be.
It's
not for them to predict that.
A lot of people are already speculating that.
Well, let's wait and see what happens. So yeah, sometimes the president can decide to change his running mate.
Maybe.
For his vice.
Let's see how it goes. So 2027 is going to be a very interesting
So let's wait.
one.
There's still a lot. There's still 2 years to go. We have not still exhausted 2025 yet. We still have 2026 to exhaust before we get to 2027. So definitely, let's wait.
But 2026 is already around the corner.
Yeah, definitely. Just few months. I think roughly just one year, 7 months or thereabout, because this is already June. Yeah. So we just have 6 months to elapse this year, then we're going to next year. So let's say roughly almost 2 years. Just 2 years. So let's wait and see what unfolds. I mean, a lot is on this Weekend Trust. Don't forget, it's for Saturday and Sunday. That's why it's Weekend Trust. So if you want to, you can actually go through, make sure you have a copy of the Weekend Trust so you can go through the stories that there is on that. And that's the much that there is.
Okay, and the Guardian newspaper, the headlines boldly written is Tinubu urges prayers for troops, task Nigerians on unity and sacrifice. The president does this every year, and you can find this story in page 2. CAN, that's Christian Association of Nigeria, of course, facilitates Muslims, seeks prayers for Mokwa flood victims. As it should be, Fatima, I think we should always congratulate each other in our festivities, which ensures unity between the two major religions in Nigeria. You can find us on page 2. PDP urges national reflection, calls on APC to end waste and deceit. Well, you can find us a story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Wise was a phenomenal jurist, statesman. Tinubu mourns. We just hope he rests in peace. May Allah forgive him sins. You can find us on pages 35 of the Guardian. I think that's all we have, the major headlines we have in the Guardian newspaper.
Well, okay, so at this point is we wish we can actually go through some of the newspapers that we have, but then time is not on our side because we're eager to hear from you and who you're going to actually send your shout outs to, because that's why I'm excited for
that's
this
segment.
That's the
favorite part,
yes, because it's going to be something different from the government is going to be just love. It's a love season, so let's spread that. Well, let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we open the phone lines and then you call in just to pour out your love, your joy. Because of this festive period, we just want to celebrate love this morning. So just stick around. After this break, you call us and share your shout outs, your love messages to your loved ones home and abroad.